Have you ever wondered what happens the moment we reach the door of death? Does the soul quietly leave? Or is there some divine process that only yogis, only perfected souls understand? Today, we are going to take you on a journey that goes beyond death, where words become silent, where breath stops, and consciousness becomes immortal. This is not a story, nor is it a fantasy. This is the living experience of Paramahansa Yogananda's final moments when he invited death himself and showed the world that death is not an end, but a celebration of the soul. Watch this video till the end, because every moment will lead you not just toward the mystery of death, but toward the nectar within yourself. And if you've ever asked the question, how do the life forces exit during death? You will get the answer today. Stay with us in this profound journey. Like the video now, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment saying, "I am not afraid of death. I am the soul." Your comment will show us that our efforts have reached your heart. Now, let's begin this mysterious and divine journey. When we hear the name of death, a strange sensation spreads within. The breath seems to stop, and the mind momentarily becomes empty. Some consider it the end, some consider it fear. But is death really the end? Or is it a door, a journey that moves from the body to the depths of consciousness? Paramahansa Yogananda was not just any saint. He was a vibration, a consciousness. He was the soul that not only lived life from the soul's level, but also perfected death. His life was not like any book that one reads and then puts away. His life was an experience that remained alive even in the moment of death. Born on the sacred land of India, Yogananda brought the teachings of the soul to the West. He made meditation, samadhi, and the journey of prana into a science. He said that death is like a switch, which a practitioner can turn off consciously if he is aware peacefully, calmly, with no fear, no pain, just a beautiful farewell. But the common person runs from death. He wants death to never come, or at least to come slowly. He doesn't prepare. He doesn't expand his consciousness. But Yogananda invited death as though it were a guest. Until his last moments, he continued his inner journey. On the night of the 7th of March, 1952, in Los Angeles, a program was going on about the friendship between India and America. Yogananda was on stage, singing praises of India, speaking the words of love. Suddenly, he took a long, silent breath, and while standing there, he drew his consciousness back. There was no restlessness, no pain, just a divine silence. The spectators were stunned. His body remained there, but its glow remained the same. A smile on his face, eyes half closed, and it seemed as though he would speak any moment, saying, "I am here, I haven't gone anywhere." Can you imagine such a scene of death? Ancient yogic scriptures say that the life force does not leave the body by itself. It is drawn out. And this is not an ordinary process, but a subtle art, a practice that yogis follow for years. When a normal person reaches the door of death, he becomes terrified. His attachment to the body is so deep that the life force struggles to leave. But the yogi sees death as an invitation. He knows when, how, and where to draw out the life force. In the human body, prana, the life force, works in 5 forms: prana, apana, saman, udana, and vyana. These have their centers in different areas of the body. But when a yogi prepares for death, he focuses all 5 of these into one direction towards the Sahasrara, the divine gate at the top of the head. The scriptures call it the Brahmarandra. Drawing prana from Brahmarandra means accepting death in a liberated state. To do this, it is essential to have practice throughout life, with meditation, and above all, mastery over the body and mind. Prana is a volatile energy. It will go where the mind remains steady. Pay attention. When a person dies in anger, prana exits from the navel or the lower heart, causing reincarnation, restlessness, or pain. But when someone dies in peace, prana is drawn upward and exits through Brahmarandra. This is Mahasamadhi. Yogananda's final moments were not just a physical departure, they were a journey from one consciousness to another. He embraced death, not as a finality, but as a transition, as an invitation from the universe. And now, let us continue our journey into this fascinating and deeply spiritual understanding of life and death. He practiced this method in his life. In his final years, he constantly focused his meditation on the Sahasrara, the crown chakra. He would tell his disciples, "Know your prana, feel it. Death is not a sorrow if you have lived life deeply." Ancient yogic scriptures, like Hatha Yoga, Pradipika, Shiva Samhita, and Patanjali Yoga Sutras hint that the moment of death can be a celebration for the practitioner if he has mastered his prana. But this is not an external practice, it's an inner awareness. Every movement of breath requires alertness, every thought needs control, and most importantly, one must taste death before it arrives. In silence, in meditation, in samadhi, Yogananda's death was not just about leaving the body, it was a process, a planned farewell, an experiment in divine science. When he extracted his prana, his body remained unchanged, like someone sitting in meditation. No warmth, no coldness, no decomposition. The scientist remained silent, the disciple was astonished, and the soul was liberated. On the 7th of March, 1952, a cold evening in Los Angeles, Paramahansa Yogananda was invited to a spiritual gathering where he was to deliver a speech on the cultural unity of India and America. The event was in full splendor. The stage was adorned with flowers, and the atmosphere was peaceful. Yogananda's face was illuminated with divine glow. He stepped up to the microphone, the audience fell silent, and he began speaking about the glory of India, its spiritual traditions, Ramakrishna, and Vivekananda. Then he said, "I love both India and America." These words echoed like a divine hum. In that very moment, he took a deep breath and merged into silence. No movement, no pain, no struggle, just a complete stop. The audience became anxious. The disciples rushed, but there was only a peaceful body and a remarkable smile. That smile was proof of a divine experience. His body remained still, as if time had been frozen. His eyes were half closed, and his face still glowed, as if someone had just descended into deep meditation. His body was placed in the Forest Lawn Memorial Park, and this is where the incident occurred that even defied science. For 20 days after his death, his body showed no signs of decay. The skin remained fresh. There was no foul odor, no chanjano decomposition, no sagging muscles, no blood flow. It was not a corpse, but it seemed as though a meditating sage sat in peace. The director of Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Heritage Rowley, certified that after 20 days, the same glow remained on his face. The body was at normal temperature, and there were no marks or sagging muscles. What was this? Was this a miracle of Yogananda? No. He himself said, "I am nothing. I am just a particle merged in God's will." But the truth is, he had chosen death for himself, and by extracting his prana from the Brahmarandra, he turned his body into a temple. Mahasamadhi, this term, is not just found in scriptures. It was made real. When a perfected soul draws its consciousness entirely out of the body, it is neither bound by birth nor rebirth. Yogananda did not just declare Mahasamadhi, but he showed it. His death was not sorrowful, not a separation. It was a celebration, the liberation of a soul that had completed its duties on earth. Now the question is, could only Yogananda have done this? Is it possible only for saints? Or is there a scientific basis to it that we can understand? When scientists examined Yogananda's body, they were astonished. His body remained in the same state even 20 days after death, as if someone was sitting in meditation. There was no decay, no sagging muscles, no temperature fluctuations, and the color remained pink. The senior director of Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Heritage Rowley, who issued the report, stated that his body showed no signs of chemical processes beginning, even after 20 days. He wrote that no strong chemicals were used, yet the body retained full freshness. This event challenges every medical principle that claims chemical processes begin within 24 hours of death, such as blood clotting, skin drying, digestive decay, etc. But Yogananda's body was beyond time. Now the question arises, was this a miracle? Yogananda never called himself miraculous. He always said, through meditation, pranayama, and devotion to God, a person can do anything. He also said that to dive into that depth, where death is not just a theory, but the gateway to the soul's freedom. Yogananda is still a live-not in the body, nor in death, but in that eternal form of consciousness where the soul never dies. He is not a memory, he is a living experience. Anyone who goes deep in meditation, who listens to the movement of prana, can hear Yogananda speak inside, in silence, in peace. His final message was, "When I leave, I will still remain with you. Death is not my end, but my expansion." The night of the 7th of March, 1952, was not just an event, it was an announcement that the soul is immortal, and death is merely the transformation of the body. By leaving his body, he proved that the soul is not bound by any limits. He showed that when consciousness reaches its full potential, the body becomes a temple, and death becomes a dawn. He did not leave. He merged into the lap of Brahman, from where every soul comes and where it returns. His life was a lamp, and his death was a sunrise. He left no scripture. He left an energy, a voice that still resonates in the hearts of meditators today. Paramahansa Yogananda was not just a guru, he was a messenger from beyond death. His body is no more, yet his touch still reaches seekers within. The path his soul showed is still open for anyone who wants to understand what death is and how liberation can be attained. He taught us that the ultimate purpose of life is not to escape death, but to embrace it lovingly. And those who embrace death with love do not truly die, they become immortal. Now, as you have listened to this journey, a silent question arises within. Do you also want to walk on that path? Can you also make your life so conscious and beautiful that death becomes a celebration? If yes, then Yogananda is with you in every meditation, in every breath, in every silence. Now, close your eyes and listen within. Listen to that silence that says, "You are not just the body, you are the soul that was never born and will never die." Finally, I would like to say this. If you have learned even a little new knowledge from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel. We'll meet again with a new video, bringing fresh insights. Until then, take care and thank you.